Good morning, everyone, from the Pacific Northwest here in Tacoma, Washington. This is Nancy with Intuitive Mind, and I am just now starting to go live on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So go ahead, come on in, get settled. Let me know how you're doing. Happy December 1st, 2022. I'm going to be talking about the December frequency forecast. So I see some of you are just starting to come on. Good morning. So once you pop on, and I would love it if anybody is tuned in on YouTube, if you can go ahead and let me know that you are here as well. Oh, I love those nice sunshine. So we are attempting here in Tacoma to get some snow. We never really get a lot of snow, and we probably won't get more than 3 inches, but it's quite exciting to start this December 1st day. So yeah, happy December from you as well. Good morning, Barbara. Hi, Amy. Thanks for letting me know that you are on YouTube so that it's live there. So let me go ahead and get started. I know many of you are going to start coming in right now, but let me just try to recap what I'm going to be talking about in this next 30 minutes. And then we're also going to finish off with a meditation. I want to first start off by saying if you're not on my mailing list, just go to intuitivemind.org and just sign in to receive the questionnaire. You'll be on the mailing list. And I want to tell you why you want to be on the mailing list, because I have recorded for the next 21 days audio messages from Spirit that's really going to be talking about the symbol, the image that's coming up every day. And it's going to be a healing to balance and harmonize and ground you. And I'm including a meditation in that as well. So go ahead, sign up for my mailing list, and you'll get those daily messages. All right, so here we are, December 1st, 2022, and tuning into the frequency. I don't even know where to start, so I'll just start. It's big. So let me just tell you on my list, if you're interested in what I'm going to be talking about in the next 30 minutes, number one, it's go time. So that's what Spirit said. It's go time. Over the next couple of years are going to be a lot of shifts that are really the quality of the shifts, the frequency of the shifts are going to be very different than they have been the last few years. We could say, yay, and we could celebrate, because I can feel just how excited my spirit is. And I bet that the excitement of your spirit's coming through in lots of different ways. Sometimes we can interpret that excitement as fear and anxiety, but it can be just really, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. So it's go time. I'm going to be talking about everything is shifting to move into a more comfortable position. So we can be excited about that as well. So in 11/11/2022, we had a portal that opened on December 8th. We have a full moon, but there's going to be a large polarizing shift December 11th. So go ahead and make that note. Not that you're going to be able to do anything about all of these shifts, but it might be helpful to know that a shift is coming. And then December 21st, there's going to be another activating portal that triggers mass movement of change. That's why I'm doing the 21-day messages leading up to the solstice, to really help us shift a lot, to really be ready for that heightened level of change. The spiritual realm is very pleased with our progress, so I'm going to be talking about that as well. And then my last little note on my paper was mermaid power. Mermaid power. And mermaid power it's a frequency. It's also wisdom. It also has deep knowledge. So you can look up mermaids, and you can look up the frequency of mermaids that come through, but it really comes through from this real galactic level, this celestial level, kind of star seed level. So I'm not going to focus a whole lot on that. I'll do more when I do the 2023 frequency forecast. But anyway, go mermaids. So good morning, Heather, and hi, Elaine, and hi, Warrior Girl. Good morning, Judy and Dawn. So it's nice to see you all on. So, okay, here we go. So in my kind of descriptor of what I was going to be talking about, it's like, in the 3D world, it's a real sticky mess right now. However, remember we talked about 2022 was the year of beauty, the year of the healer, and the year of justice. It seems like there's some really rapid shifts, and it's like finally, like we've kind of been waiting all year long for something to kind of give, and it looks like things are starting to give now. So in that sense of being able to breathe a little easier. So that's very, very exciting. But what Spirit really wants all of us to know is that there are so many magnetic forces, very strong magnetic forces that can pull you in many directions. So most of us have spent our entire lives being pulled many directions. But right now, these magnetic forces are very, very strong. So you're being really asked to kind of focus on the frequency that you want to maintain and let those other frequencies kind of fall away. So the force of the frequency that you want to follow, that's the one that you want to choose to do. So, like for example, imagine a frequency of peace, and then there's the frequency of corruption. Now, often, we feel at peace, but it's that jagged, rough, edgy, very strong, like what do you call a jackhammer kind of energy. That's kind of that corruptive violence energy. That if there was a jackhammer, that's going to get your attention. You're going to look and say, "Whoa, that's loud, that's forceful." But what Spirit is saying is where your real strength is going to come in is to stay focused on the frequency of peace. Now, I'm just giving that as an example, but whatever that other frequency, it's going to be easy to get pulled off. But right now, this is go time. So we really want to focus on the frequency that we wish to kind of hang our hat on in the world. So maintain your intentional focus. Do not be pulled by distractions. So that's the big kind of overall message that you're going to really need to take home with you over the next couple of years. All right. So the December frequency forecast will be like walking along shifting pathways. Now, I want to let you know I wrote this over 5 days ago. So what Spirit was saying at that time, it's like walking along with shifting pathways, like you're in this fun house and the sidewalk is shifting and it's moving, and you've got to step over to the next platform and that's still moving. And so what Spirit says is promising you there are side rails to hang on to. So even if it feels like the earth is shifting underneath your feet, just know that you have a lot of spiritual support that's coming through at this time. Spirit continues to remind your body to let go of the rail and place your hands in the air and trust. Let go of the rail and put your hands in the air and trust. But if you're feeling off kilter, go ahead and grab that rail. And what that symbolically means is, do your meditations, do your walks, do your prayers. So, all right. So the Great Mother at this time really started talking about that kind of the shifting sidewalk is like the tectonic plates that are shifting back and forth. And that can really cause it to feel unsettled underneath your feet. And so I wrote this a few days ago, and then all of a sudden, in the past 24 hours, there's been a lot of earthquakes happening all over the world. And then, of course, on the Big Island, has 2 volcanoes erupting at the same time. I mean, just watch nature. It's going to really tell you what's happening for you. So 2 volcanic eruptions at the same time, and the tectonic plates are sliding back and forth. They're shifting. So what Mother Earth is saying, it's like turning over in the bed. You're going to really shift into a more comfortable position. So as the earth and the universe shifts, it's just shifting into a more comfortable position to get ready for this next level, kind of mass level of expansion. So, so what Spirit is saying is some of you might feel disturbed by this sense of instability. So again, you're going to have to stay focused and say, I'm strong, I'm stable, I'm resilient, I'm adapting, I'm shifting into a more comfortable position. So if you need to make Post-it notes around the house, because when you're feeling off kilter, it's hard to remember that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Because you need to make room. We all need to make room for higher levels of wisdom and knowledge to come through. And the download that's going to start happening around the 21st of December is massive. It's just this massive download of all these kind of light codes. And within each light code is a tremendous amount of data, high level data. It's almost like, you've been this child and now you're grown and you're going to college and you have your big medical books put in front of you that you weren't ready for when you were 10 years old. So it's kind of like that is what Spirit is talking about. Okay, let's see here. So building structures of the old paradigm can no longer contain this accelerated growth that's happening on all levels. So Spirit was very specific to say all of our systems are crumbling. Your systems are crumbling. Your relationship systems are crumbling. Your family systems are crumbling. The work systems are crumbling. Specifically, banking, medical, educational systems, religious systems, and leadership systems are collapsing rapidly. Educational systems as well. So imagine that you have a child, that you birth this baby, and this baby needs to grow. You can expect that child will grow out of their clothes. They'll grow out of their shoes. You're not going to expect your son or daughter at 18 years old to still wear the same outfit that they were wearing when they were a toddler. And so Spirit was kind of funny with an edge this month. Funny with an edge. I was like, whoa, you're getting kind of edgy here. And so what Spirit was saying is, so why would you expect the world to continue to wear the clothes that it was wearing when it was a toddler, when now the world and the universe has grown into being young adults? And so that perspective is what Spirit wants us to get. It's like, well, of course we've grown out of our clothes. Now, for a lot of you, this is like, yeah, I get this, but there's a lot of people in the world that this is still kind of a new concept. So Spirit is saying, be excited about your dreams, be excited about your wishes, your desires, your creations that are going to be happening for this month of December, but also heading into 2023. Be excited about these healthier states that the world is moving into. Look forward to creating a new wardrobe. So remember, the wardrobe just simply is symbolic of saying, where are you going? Where are you growing? How are you going to present to the world? So you might even want to start taking notes now about what that's going to look like for you, because we still have that sticky, harsh energy happening at the 3D level. That is not going to go away. And in some ways, it will intensify in some areas of the world. So you've grown out of your old shoes, time for a new pair. But when I said Spirit's kind of edgy and direct, Spirit's like, some children don't want to grow up. You could be 63 years old and not want to grow up. So what Spirit is saying is, and some parents don't want their children to grow up. So what Spirit is saying symbolically is that you might be in a relationship and it needs to mature, but neither one of you want it to mature. Like you want it to stay where it is. So Spirit's saying, just like you can't stop your child from growing, you can't stop all these other things from growing either. It's like, just accept it. It's time for all of us. Oh my God, it's time for all of us to grow up. It says, shift your consciousness from the state of grumbling to a state of rejoicing. state of grumbling to a state of rejoicing. I think Spirit last month in December, what was it? Gossip your way into reality. It's like, wow, okay, they're getting very, very direct, but I'm not done yet. So then another level of beings came in, and wow, they're very earthly. So for some of you, just to explain about the spiritual realm, there's different dimensions of spiritual realms. We are multi-dimensional beings. We are more than a 3D human being. We also have a soul, we have a spirit. And our spirit has the capacity to communicate in many, many dimensions. But if you are skeptical, second guessing, or doubting, you're going to limit the access of the amount of information that's going to be able to come through for you. But what I'm saying here is that the spiritual wise ones on the other side, the closer they are to the earth, or that they can be comfortable in a more earthly frequency, even though they're a high level being, they're going to be pretty practical and straightforward. So I just wanted to kind of create a container around this communication. All right. So, so the message that came through was not everyone will move forward and not everyone has the right to move forward. I mean, we are really talking about this kind of unity consciousness. Nobody's going to be left behind, but there are going to be many who are really stepping onto that path a little bit slower than others, and finding that humanity has a real there are aspects of humanity that's insignificant in that they hold a shallow state of opinions. They have whatever they speak is from a shallow state. Shallow opinions are like baby birds, he said, that constantly scream at the adults in the nest to keep feeding them, nourishing them, while providing safe containers around their kind of screaming mouths, their whining mouths, is what Spirit was saying. So what's happening is that those shallow minds with the loud mouths, so that's what Spirit was saying, the shallow minds with the loud mouths continue to dictate what happens for the majority of people. So what Spirit was using, like that example of Russia invading, that's the loud, shallow mouth that is really influencing us in the world right now. So there's going to be this strong polarizing shift that's going to happen around December 11th. Energetic boundaries will awaken you to start to recognize who are the shallow ones and turn towards the true ones who are going to truly make a difference in the world. So just to let you know that what Spirit is saying is that as you kind of adapt to these higher frequencies, being able to recognize those that are just on the surface humans, and then those who are expressing a depth to them, you're going to be able to notice and define those with greater clarity. And then Spirit was saying there's been a lot of people in the world who've been hurt and harmed by the shallow ones. So that's really interesting the way they're describing it. Many people in the world who've been hurt by the shining ones. Just to let you know that those who have been hurt by the shallow ones, you will be carried by Spirit. Spirit's really going to help carry you to those greater depths, those greater states of safety, and bringing in higher levels of wisdom and knowledge. So I'm really talking about, a lot of people in the world that the Spirit's really coming through to support. And as again, what they're saying, who has spiritual depth and who does not. And what Spirit is saying, it's not too late to choose spiritual depth. So that option is going to be coming up for a lot of people. Now, here in our office, at Intuitive Mind, we've been teaching intuitive development, meditation, psychic development for over 20 years now. And we've been getting calls and people reaching out, and there's a lot of shifts where they hadn't been going in that direction, and then suddenly their intuition is really waking up. So we get to hear a lot of that in this office. So that's what's happening. There's going to be a great surge of feminine divine essence in the spring of 2023. I'll talk more about that in the December forecast, next year's forecast. We are to focus on the masses, and there's a mass movement. So as a mass, we are moving this mass movement, and we are being moved by this mass movement of a big frequency change. So it isn't going to be something you can think about. It's just like one day it's like, wow, I'm different. I can't even explain it. It's going to be huge, huge, huge. So December 21st, there is this portal that's opening to activate the masses who are ready to make that move, who've been preparing themselves for a long time. This is the time that we've been waiting for. Those of you on the front line who've been holding that vision will join that wide, stable path of illumination to help expand consciousness. And your continued strength is going to help others to feel good about moving into those states of consciousness as well. So, when you're sleeping in bed and you wake up and you're still groggy and you're trying to wipe the sleep from your eyes, that's what it's like. It's going to take a little bit to decide to get up and walk down to the kitchen and make a cup of coffee. But there are those of you who are ready, and that's what Spirit is saying overall, that it's go time. But the celestial beings, the star beings, the very high frequency beings, they could not be happier about the status here on Earth. That's kind of shocking, isn't it? So what they're saying is the beings of light are eager to come through with enormous excitement about the movement of light throughout the world. They so wish that we could see just how much beauty is being illuminated throughout this earth, the world, and the entire universe. No matter how low, depressed, anxious, angry, or fearful someone is, somewhere underneath their breath, they're whispering wishes for peace. So that's what these really high level star beings, celestial beings want us to know, is that no matter what someone looks like or acts like or is bullyish or violent or destructive, underneath at that spiritual level, everyone wants peace right now. So that we need to remember that. The high frequency light beings are gathering where they are needed in the world right now, and they appreciate the light workers who are holding a grounded, illuminating focus in your own areas for stability. So when I kind of look around the whole world, like for example, in Ukraine, and there's definitely other places. I mean, they're very, very active in those places right now. They're active in small places in Canada and the United States, but there's some big things going on in the entire world. The blue celestial beings of light are extremely happy. I said they're actually joyous, in fact, on the progress being made as consciousness expands and awakens millions. So they're very happy about the progress. So it's like we had choices at this point in our evolutionary process. And, according to the conversation, they're saying we're actually kind of ahead of the game. It doesn't feel that way here on Earth, but we're actually ahead. We're doing really, really well. They are saying kind, caring thoughts can carry you far. Anchor the light deeply into the earth, but add the action steps. Make amends, reconciliation, righting the wrongs in the world will ground the light deeper, making room for illumination at higher wattage, like a dimmer switch being turned up. So, okay, what's the last? We are in paradigm shattering times are ahead for the year 2023. And what first comes to mind when you hear the word shattering? You know, do you feel frightened? Do you feel anxious? And what these light beings are saying, it's like, yeah, you know, it's like breaking the glass ceiling or shattering the limitations. It's like it can sound violent, shattering, but it's like the crack in the dam where there's this buildup of this energy force that is you that's been dammed up and blocked, and all of a sudden there's a crack now, and now it's going to break open, and you're just going to be back into the flow again of life where uh, you're no longer blocked and you no longer have to divert the essence that's you. You no longer have to live in that state of being dried up by all the interference that needs to be moved out of the way towards your desired outcome. So there's some big energies. I've already started writing about 2023, and I'm writing as I'm just like shaking my head because it's go time. This is a time we've been waiting for. So I'm super, super excited about that. All right, we've got a few minutes. So this is the meditation that we're going to be doing today. And I hope that you all are excited. It's not easy to express what we're feeling. And, it's like, oh, I don't want to be Pollyannish. I don't want to have these rose colored glasses. I really want to believe that this is real. And for me, that you need to sit with that. Are you feeling it in your bones? Are you like, well, I'm a kind of wait and see kind of person, but I'll still keep meditating while I'm waiting and seeing. And all of that is cool. It's all cool to be where you are. So I'm going to teach you a little technique that I teach in my programs, and I'm going to call it Talking to God technique. You can call it anything you want, especially if the God word kind of makes you wiggly, then use the word goddess, or maybe you would like to talk to Jesus, or maybe you would like to talk to Archangel Michael or Gabriel or Uriel or Ariel. Maybe you'd like to talk to Mother Mary or Kuan Yin or Shiva or Buddha. I think I've covered quite a bit here. So go ahead and take your hand and just touch the top of your head and feel above your head. So this is your place. This is the place of your spirit, your higher, wise, knowledgeable, multi-dimensional self is up here. Your crown chakra, right where your baby's soft spot was when you were born, that's kind of like the base of the crown chakra. You're going to create, you can do it through your imagination, or you can even place your hand up there and imagine kind of forming this beam of light. And then just like you're going to send the beam of light up to, I'm just going to use God, up to God. Now for me, silver, I make a little silver cord and I imagine it's plugging into the sun. I use the sun to symbolically represent the God of my heart. However, when I'm speaking to, want to speak to the goddess, the feminine divine, I use more of a turquoise beam of light and I send it up and I connect it into the goddess energy. Like Shiva, for example, is a very dark blue. Of course, you have Mother Mary, who is more of a rose. Jesus and Buddha, it's more of a golden stream of light. And they're just slightly different. Buddha and Jesus have a very, very similar frequency. Jesus's frequency is massive love. Buddha's also love, but more kind of a neutral kind of love. So they're all kind of different. Kuan Yin can be more of like a magenta, a fuchsia pink. So let's just throw some of those out there. But the biggest thing is don't worry about the color. Focus on the intention. Who do you want to talk to? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to close our eyes. Then you're going to send that frequency up until you know you're connected. Then you're going to say hello, get a hello back, and you're going to ask a question and see if you can get an answer back. But mostly I'm teaching you this technique so that you can start using it every day to talk to the ascended ones who are reminding us it's go time and we're on track. So go ahead and close your eyes, turn within. Whew. Feel maybe the nervousness of your body. Just assure your body that you're taking it with you, and see if you can tap into some of the underlying excitement and enthusiasm about the expansiveness that will be happening this month. And just assure your body right now. Say hello to your spirit. Remember that beautiful, higher, wise, knowledgeable self of you. Ask your spirit to help you to create that energetic cord, that energetic light. So anytime you want to, you can communicate with the divine yourself and get that reassurance and those answers that you seek anytime you want, anytime of every minute of the day if you want. So who is it that you want to communicate with at the ascended level? Create that cord, that beam of light, and then send it up, 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 up to the highest frequencies to connect with the God of your heart or the goddess of your heart, or whoever else you wish to communicate with. So let's take a moment of quiet. You just keep going until you know the connection is made. It is that simple. There you go. I can feel those connections. Now say hello. You can imagine you picked up the calling from one cell phone to another. Say hello, and whoever the ascended one is, or the supreme wisdom creator is, allow that communication to travel back along that line down into your own crown chakra, and allow that feeling of that connection to the divine to flow through your body. And then ask whatever question you want to ask today. Whatever question, anything that you wish or dream for, or just want to know if someone's really out there. We're going to just take a minute of quiet as you get that sense of communication between you and the God of your heart. You can express communication of gratitude, and you can also express communication of complaints and annoyances and irritations. And you can say, I need a lot of help. Because the illuminated ones, the holy ones, the ascended ones, they know that we are all boots on the ground during an enormous time of change. You don't need to explain, just ask for help and be specific about what you would like help with. Ask and you shall receive. Let yourself receive the message as it downloads into your body, into your consciousness. Ah, beautiful, beautiful shift. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this technique by asking you to now kind of hang up the cell phones, retract that light back to your crown chakra. But first, thank whoever you were communicating with for the conversation. Sorry, we have a big garbage truck going by, so we'll just imagine it's just going to carry away any garbage we want to let go of. So you want to retract that so that you can feel back, you can feel your body, you can feel your humanness again. But after this call, you can go right back and send another cord out to have a longer conversation if that's what you desire, or do it several times today. But that's a technique that's going to be of great value for us this entire month, but over these next few years, well, who am I kidding? Always. We need this connection. So lots of things are shifting. I'll be excited to share more when I do the 2023 forecast, which I will record a video on, and I will release that on YouTube. But just to remind you, if you're not on my mailing list, go to intuitivemind.org, sign in at the top to get the questionnaire. That'll put you on the mailing list. You'll start getting these daily audio, spiritual, frequency shifting messages is what I'm calling them. So get on my mailing list, you can get those daily messages. and then sign up for the link is here as well for the winter group reading that's on the 21st, the winter solstice. Even if you know that you cannot make it to the live event, you can still order the audio recording, which will be sent to you the very next day. It's going to be huge. I'm excited about it. All right, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We're getting a little shaken up and our tails are getting yanked, and we're like, shallowness has to go. Let's choose depth every time throughout your day, your week, your months that you feel like you're being on the surface. Let yourself drop in to yourself in a deeper way. All right, I'd love to hear from everyone what that meditation was like for you, or what you thought of the talk. How does it land with you? And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I will see you all again next week, where I'll be talking about perfectionism, right? We got to let go of perfectionism because it is what it is. All right, everyone, take care. See you next week.